Hanukkah Sameach. I want to raise three basic questions about Hanukkah and answer them using a brilliant insight from Reb Shlomo Kluger in his Sefer Yerios Shlomo. Question number one. In Al Anisim, we say the words, Ula'amcha Yisrael asisa tshua gedola upurkan kehayom hazeh, that Hashem did a great salvation for Bnei Yisrael on this day. Why do we add on those two words, kehayom hazeh, as of this day? Question number two. Why do we celebrate the miracle of oil at all? It seems like of the two miracles of Hanukkah, the military victory and the burning of the oil, they have a cause and effect relationship. Because we won the war, we were able to have the miracle of oil, and we couldn't have had the miracle of oil if we hadn't won the war. So why did Chazal choose to focus on the miracle that was seemingly the effect instead of the miracle that was the cause? Number three, why is Hanukkah not written anywhere in Tanakh? Those are the three questions. And to answer these questions, we need to understand a fundamental idea about miracles. This is Reb Shlomo Kluger's Chiddush. Some miracles are pre-written into creation, part of the original blueprint. For example, Kriyas Yamsuf, when the sea splits and Bnei Yisrael walks through to the other side, and the Torah then records Vayashav Hayam Lifnot Boker Le'etano, that it went back to its original calm state. And Chazal learned from there, from the letters Le'etano, that it can be reread as Litinao. There was a condition placed on the sea from the time that Hashem created the world, that it would split when Bnei Yisrael needed to go through, and then it would come back to its normal state afterwards. This is a miracle that was destined to happen from the very beginning of creation. But Hanukkah, says Reb Shlomo Kluger, is different. It was not pre-programmed. It could have easily not happened had Yehuda HaMaccabee and the Chashmonaim decided to not act. The miraculous victory and the supernatural miracle of the lasting oil that we celebrate and commemorate each year, these weren't waiting in the wings for the inevitable moment when they were predestined to occur. Instead, everything was generated by the Mesirut Nefesh of the Chashmonaim. Hanukkah began through the bravery, the initiative, and the Mesirut Nefesh of human beings. There was no prophecy commanding them to fight, no guarantees of success, no promise from Hashem that this miraculous event will occur on such and such a date and time. Even if you look in the Torah, you would not find it. The Chashmonaim stepped forward, battled on their own initiative against the odds because they felt compelled to preserve Torah and Bnei Yisrael's relationship to Hashem at all costs. And that's probably why every single part of Hanukkah, from the storyline to the halachos, feels like it goes beyond the normal, doing more than what's required. This was a battle of the few against the many. They searched for pure oil, even though halachically the impure oil was just as permissible to use. We light extra candles every single night, even though halachically the minimum required is one candle each night. Every single act of Hanukkah is a statement that we refuse to serve Hashem in a minimal way. We want to serve Him in the best way possible. And in response to this Mesirut Nefesh that the Maccabeim showed, a new miracle entered the world that had not been written into the pre-existing plan. Because they fought and searched for that one little cruse of oil that had just enough for one day, Hashem caused the oil to burn for 8 days. He literally rewrote reality in their merit. And this helps us to answer our three questions. Why do we say Kehayom Hazeh in Al Anisim? Because the miracle of Hanukkah was born on that day. It wasn't predestined or predetermined. It was Kehayom Hazeh in that moment from the choices that were made by that generation. It reflects a miracle that emerged from human initiative and not divine predetermination. Why do we celebrate the miracle of oil if it came after the war? Well, that's exactly why we celebrate the miracle of oil, because the oil is the supernatural miracle that the people themselves caused through their own devotion. The military victory could be seen as a natural occurrence The oil was absolutely supernatural and shows that it was a divine response to the Mesirut Nefesh of the Chashmonaim, and teaches us that when we take the first step, supernatural events can take place. Why is Hanukkah not written in Tanakh? Because Tanakh is the blueprint of the world. Everything that's in the created world is sourced in the Torah. But Hanukkah wasn't in that script. It was only added later because Klal Yisrael birthed it into existence with their devotion. And perhaps this also explains why the Rambam uniquely refers to the mitzvah of Hanukkah candles as chaviva ad me'od, dearly beloved, because mitzvot are not usually purely relationship oriented. They are responses to a commandment. God speaks, we obey. Even though we might do the mitzvah to achieve closeness with Hashem, the performance of the mitzvah itself is obedience to a command. But the Hanukkah candles are different. The mitzvah of lighting Hanukkah candles commemorates the desire that motivated the Chashmonaim to fight, and which ultimately caused the supernatural miracle of oil to occur. So the mitzvah of Hanukkah candles itself is an expression of our desire for relationship with Hashem. When we light the Hanukkah candles, we're not just doing a mitzvah or commemorating a miracle. We are recreating the moment when human devotion reshaped reality. And that personal dedication is what Hashem calls Chaviva Ad Me'od, dearly beloved. Wishing you and your family a Chanukah Sameach. May the candles burn bright and bring light and joy to each one of us, and may their glow inspire us to take that next step and bring more miracles into our lives.